Wait, so how many of you have either been to a Spurs game, have watched it on TV, or are fans of the Spurs in general? Cool, that's it. So I'm a business analytics major thinking about going into sports analytics. So with that said, I decided to interview Matt Gaudry, who is a sports analyst and in the marketing department for the Spurs. During our interview, I learned a lot about the industry, that like what happens behind the scenes that we really don't watch on TV or at the games. And I also learned about what it takes to get there, which I didn't think was as challenging, but after speaking to Matt, I really do think it's like a really competitive and dynamic field. That is why the purpose of this speech is to inform all of you not only about what happens in the industry, since the business analytics and technology major here at Trinity is also new, but pairing it with sports management is also very popular. Besides that, I also want to talk about the skills and qualities that it takes to get there, not only for this field, but also for any job in general. With that being said, I want to touch base on what a sports analyst and business analyst actually does. So basically all they do is like get data, statistics, and anything like that, and put it into spreadsheets that will make them not only more profitable and bring them more revenue, but also make them a better company as a whole. According to Forbes, the business intelligence and business analytics market is forecast for a global revenue growth of 5.2% from last year, bringing it up to $16.9 billion this year. So with that said, the first thing I want to talk about is the sports analyst and marketing job and what that entails and what a typical day is like. So after speaking to Matt, I realized that this job isn't really for everyone, especially not for me now. He said that when he first got into the industry, he wanted to do something that really brought his two interests together, which were sports and business. He went to the University of Idaho and he played hockey there for them, and he started getting interested in business when he started taking more marketing classes. So when he really figured out it came time to what he wanted to do, he figured out that he wanted to mix those two together and find something that really intrigued him. So after speaking with him, I also asked him what kind of typical day was like in that field, and he says that it's a dynamic field that's always changing, not only the analytical field, but also the sports industry. He does all types of analytics having to do with fans and surveys and market research, and from there he also goes to make Excel spreadsheets and presentations to not only help their department, but also all the other departments as well. So that is why he said that he plays a very different role every day, going from fans to surveys to maybe the food, like what people buy more, and like what people like to purchase in souvenir shops as well. Another really important point that I want to talk about today is the advice and pointers that Matt gave us, not only for this field, but also any person that's looking for a job. The first thing he said is take classes that interest you. That is the way that he found his calling. He took marketing classes, he took management, business, and everything like that, until he finally found the area that he was really interested in. He never thought that analytics would be a specialty, but now he's in sports analytics and he is really happy there. Second thing he said is make connections. As you all know, networking is very important. So he said that anytime there was a speaker in one of his classes or one of his supervisors in an internship would talk to him, he would always try to do his best and talk about his strengths and interests in the field, and maybe even hand him a resume, which he said that sometimes is kind of risky, but that is what sometimes got him the big meetings or the big interviews. Secondly, he said that following up is also very important. You really want to make that person remember you and think about you not only as a future potential employee or anything like that, but also as a person that really is interested in this job. So he definitely said that following up, no matter what, whether it is through email or through phone or meeting up with them in person, is also very important. Lastly, he said don't be afraid to reach out. This is something that he really struggled with when he was first getting into the field. But he said that he mentioned that you definitely need to not be afraid of making yourself be known. Definitely ask questions when they need to be asked or when you're confused. Stay later to talk with them after a speech or a lecture or anything like that. And most of all, try to make yourself known and be under their radar, because if this is something that really interests you, you should really go for it. In conclusion, the sports industry, he said, that is very dynamic and always changing, most importantly in the analytical field. It's something that's sometimes not for everyone, since you work in an office with a lot of people or anything like that. So he definitely said that you really do need great communicational skills and really be familiar with Excel and other things that are really important in this job. Besides that, he says don't be afraid to dive right in if you really want this and if you're really interested in this job. It is something that's very challenging and very competitive, so if you really do want it, definitely make yourself known and fight for what you want. Thanks.